Hi, do you struggle with your dog coming back when called? Are they distracted by playing or smells or things outside? I'm Camille Personi with Pawsitive Futures Dog Training, and today we're going to work on calling our dogs away from really interesting distractions with Mr. Benny over here. So one of the major problems with our recalls is we humans tend to use it all the time without really making it very fun for our dogs. We tend to use our come cue to call our dogs away from fun stuff, and sometimes we don't always reward them for it, and so over time what happens is our come cue gets diluted. Our dogs kind of start to ignore it, or they figure out that playing and interacting with the environment is more interesting and more fun and rewarding, and so they just don't want to come back. So one of the things that we want to make sure is that we don't overuse our come cue, and what you can do is have different cues for different types of behavior. So with my own dogs, I have an inside cue, which means come from the yard into the house, so that I'm not constantly calling them come when we're just playing in the yard and coming back inside. Another thing you want to do is to make sure you create a lot of value for your dog checking in with you and coming back to you, so that we're not always calling them away from fun stuff. We're actually providing lots more fun stuff for them, so that they go, oh wow, sure, of course I'm going to come back, because coming back to you is always going to be fun and interesting and not a net loss for them. So when you start practicing your recalls, one of the first things you want to be mindful of is making sure that it's easy for your puppy to do. A lot of times we tend to ask a little too much, so make sure you start with very short distances. And also, management is going to be your best friend. So if you know you have a puppy that's not super reliable with coming back inside, maybe let them drag a leash, have them on a long line, so that you don't have to struggle every time you want them to come back in the house, and get them to practice the behavior of, you call me, I run away, haha, this is not really fun. And also, if you have a puppy that's not very interested in food, sometimes it happens when they go outside. The smells are so interesting, there's so much stuff going on with these critters that the food is really not something that they really want to work for. So there are other things that you can do to get your pup's attention and make yourself interesting. One of them is silly bird calls types of things. So those usually get their attention. You can also use your hands and fingers and bodies to kind of move away and coax them to try and chase you, so that we're playing a game of chase, but instead of you chasing your puppy around, they're chasing you around. Or you can use toys. If your puppy likes toys, like squeaky balls are a great way to get their attention. Play a little bit with them, and then kind of gradually move the play towards closer to the inside, so it's much easier for them to then bridge the gap of, well, I only have 2 feet to go, instead of having to cross the entire yard on call. And the good thing about management, so using a drag leash or a long line when your dog goes outside, is that it prevents the whole we're chasing each other and from you from getting upset. It's very common for us humans to get a little bit miffed when our dogs are not coming back, especially if we have to spend 20 minutes trying to coax them back in. And so what tends to happen is we call them over and over. When they finally do come back, oh finally, and then we get mad at them, which only serves to further dilute your recall cue, because now it's really not fun for your puppy to come back inside the house. So your management tools, having a long line, having a retractable leash on, or having a leash attached to your dog, makes it easy. Okay, we're going inside, I'm going to grab the leash and we're going to walk in. There's no struggle. We're not practicing the bad behavior of chasing around, and we're not getting frustrated, especially if you're on a schedule. So things like, quick potty stops during lunch where you're going to have to leave soon and you don't have a whole lot of time to kind of wait them out. It makes your life a lot easier, and again, it allows you not to practice the bad behavior of chasing your puppy around and then scolding them for taking too long to come back in the house. So if you're struggling with your puppy, or you have a puppy that really enjoys playing keep away and you feel like you're stuck, we have 2 videos that are going to be great for you. We have one on getting your pup's attention consistently, and another one on working on recalls without food. So check them out.